Rodo-sha The Laborer, a fictional autobiography of a laborer and the events of his life. Down in the valley of mountain, there was a small village, in which laborers would camp with their families. On one fine day, at around midday, a laborer named Rodosha was called by a supervisor. "Supervisor," in a happy tone, "go to your tent in the camp." Hearing this, Rodosha was shocked and confused at the same time. He was thinking that he might have made a mistake, due to which he is fired from the job. He did not know how to react. So after a brief moment of thinking, Rodosha apologized to his supervisor. Hearing this, supervisor smiled, and now in a firm manner told him,
"Just go now."
He thought, should I ask the reason for going to tent? Then he told to himself that asking for the reason was out of question, as he was a laborer, and a laborer had no right of questioning the supervisor. Rodosha hurried towards the tent, and was still thinking what mistake he has made, due to which he is fired, when he reached near his tent in the camp. He saw that many women from the camp were gathered outside his tent. Seeing this, Rodosha forgot everything about his job status, and now was extremely worried about his wife. Rodosha had no one in this world except his wife. He was about to cry. Suddenly, he heard the group of women shouting his wife's name, "Mado, Mado." Hearing this, he hurried to his tent. Soon all the women noticed Rodosha has arrived, and they shouted, "Congratulations! You are blessed with twin sons." He met his wife and shared a moment of joy after 30 years of his life. Rodosha and his wife Mado decided to name one boy each. Mado named the younger son Sabanto, and Rodosha named the eldest son Akira. Rodosha took both the sons in his arms and cried out happily, "Hey! I am a father of 2 sons now." At the same time, he recalled the day when he was born. His mother was very happy, and she named him Rodosha. His father's name was Chichi. He was also a laborer. He never wanted a baby, as he struggled all his life just to meet daily ends. Hence, he feared that he might not able bear the burden of a baby. Chichi's life was nothing but tragic. It seemed like he had some animosity with happiness. Whenever he thought that happiness is within reach, something tragic would happen, and he would suffer huge losses. On the day Rodosha was born, his father was working with his uncle. His uncle was actually a younger brother of Rodosha's grandfather, and he had a friendly relationship with him. They both were working beside a river near the dam. Suddenly, an accident happened on the crane's hook, and a huge load fell on the head of his uncle. His uncle was rushed to the hospital in a critical condition. Chichi was sitting outside the ICU room, and doctors were trying their best to save him. Sadly, his uncle couldn't survive. This made Chichi very sad, because he had only his uncle, apart from his wife in his life. Chichi felt like his life is dead. This broke him to the core. All of a sudden, he got the news of Rodosha's birth. He was not happy at all. He felt lonely all the time, and he was in severe depression since his uncle Ben died. He never played with Rodosha, and always saw him as a burden. Due to inflation, even essential items' prices were getting out of reach. Rodosha's mother never complained about anything to Chichi. Instead, she always tried to support him. She was happy with everything that she had, and never felt sad about things which were not there. She made every effort to make Chi-Chi come out of depression. But Chi-Chi had lost all hope. He believed that he will never be able to fulfill the responsibilities of a father. One day, when he was working on the top of the dam, suddenly, his leg slipped from it. He fell into the gushing water. His body was found near the riverside, a few miles away from the dam. Rodosha's mother was very sad, as she was left alone. She grieved for some time, and then opted to work in place of Chi-Chi, near the dam. She was able to earn and survive with Rodo-sha. She loved Rodo-sha very much, and always told him not to lose hope in life, no matter what. Rodosha grew up as a positive, mature young man, and his mother was his superhero. On her dying bed, she said,
Rodosha, life can be very challenging at times, and you may feel that you're alone, and there is no reason left to live another day. But remember, when you strive for your goal in life, the whole universe starts to help you in achieving it.
After recalling his life, Rodosha knew that if he strives for his goal, then one day he will achieve it. So he started to check his savings, and he got to know that he had 500 curas with him. Rodosha income was very low, only 5,000 curas per month. Even families with income of 25,000 curas a month could hardly survive. So made a quick calculation in his mind, in which he found that if he wanted to be financially independent, then he had to earn up to 25 times of his yearly expenses. As per his current status, he needed 1.5 million curas a year in order to be financially free. The next day, Rodosha requested his supervisor if he. Supervisor asked,
Is there any specific reason for it?
Rodosha replied, I want to be able to bear the expenses of my sons, and for that, I need some time to do some extra work. After a brief moment of thinking, supervisor said,
As per our current situation, we don't have any overload on us. Hence, for next 6 months, I can allow you to go an hour early. But after that, we have too much work, and I will need you here. Is that okay with you?
To this, Rodosha happily replied, Yes. Rodosha looked around the nearby areas for some other settlements of people and labor camps. He was able to find around 3 such areas in which people and laborers were living. All these areas were near his house, and this gave him an idea. He started doing what his mother used to do. He started collecting fruits from trees in the vicinity and started to sell them after work. This is how he utilized his hour after work, and by doing this he was able to make another 5,000 curas in the first month. He now had a total of 10,000 curas in a month. His expenses for that month was about 7,000 curas, and he knew that the expenses would grow more every month, along with his sons. As winter was approaching, he decided to invest his 2,000 curas in buying firewood from the market, and kept 1,000 curas for emergency expenses. He kept doing this for the next 6 months. Winter came, and by now Rodosha had 6,000 curas in his savings, and had a firewood stock of 12,000 curas. As per his agreement with his supervisor, Rodosha would now need to do full shift, and he won't be able to leave early. This didn't worry Rodosha, as he had already invested for winter season. He started selling his firewood stock with handsome profit. By the end of winter, Rodosha had sold off all his firewood stock. And after deducting his expenses, he had 24,000 kiras with him. He followed the same routine for next 5 years and multiplied his investment every year. After 5 years, Rodosha was able to achieve his goal of 1.9 million kiras from firewood sales alone. Right now, even if he is fired from the job and he doesn't do any fruit selling, he can still sail through by only doing firewood investment. Rodosha became a role model for many other laborers, for his wife and his sons. He was a superhero. Rodosha always encouraged others by saying, "If a laborer like me can achieve it, then you can also do it."